So I wanted to meet her and find out how hard it is to always be put on a pedestal of perfection. How much has social media affected the illusion of stardom? What are her thoughts on body positivity? And what does it actually take to look the way she does off-screen in reality?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
When it comes to being a Bollywood star,
It's a very interesting conversation, and I think it's more so today an interesting conversation than it's ever been, because in a certain standard of how this is how one should look if they're an actress. This is how one should look if they're in the film industry. It's not being told to me anymore that I must look like this and this is the way one has to look to fit into this part.
you had to conform to be a certain way.
Is that really the case? Or are we just so scared under what we think is the confines and the definition of how we're supposed to look? I've heard stories where there have been girls who have been told you have to look like this or you have to look like that to be an actress, so to speak, or, to fit in. But beyond that, even if someone has said that to you or had said that to you, you gotta be brave enough to go out there and say that, no, I want to look how I want to look. And oftentimes, if you are clutter breaking and if you get out there and make that impact being unique, you're gonna last a lot longer and you're gonna find your own position, and that position is not going to be easily replaced or be filled by somebody else so easily. If you're going to try and fit into a cookie cutter mold, then I can put any cookie in that cutter. I can put anyone in that mold, If you're going to try and be unique and true to yourself, you're going to be much harder to replace. Or more than me trying to conform in the early kind of formative years that you're talking about, it genuinely wasn't that way for me. It was more about me finding out who I was. Opinions, I have more takes on things, I have more life experience, I've been through more stuff. In my earlier years, that's what it was, I was having a blast. I was going on film sets, I was having the most fun you could imagine on my film sets, whether it was New York, whether it was Ajab Prem Ki Gazab Kahani, whether it was, Partner. What people may see or have taken as, being safe, was not being safe. It was honestly just being a little young and not having too many deep concerns or deep opinions about issues, which maybe today would concern me more. Laugh, jump, and create a lot of noise that all my friends and choreographers and co-stars use, and that's beautiful because it's a time of innocence. It's a time where you're not thinking too much, you're not calculating too much, but I'll tell you what has set in a bit. I feel that everyone's a bit more grown up and professional now. The world has changed. Social media has changed the way we live and operate. I think social media has some wonderful benefits. It's given me a platform to my audience and to connect to people when I felt I really needed it, and peers in the industry. But when I did, I came on because I realized that I was not being represented, or a very small side of me was being represented, and that small side was too small. It was like that, and I was like, no. I need to have representation of myself to my audience and to the people who come and see our films and who know about me, and that has been a invaluable contribution that social media has given to me. But the flip side of it is what we all know. It's now, sure, and that's me included, it's all of us now, it's all of us. It's become a way of being. This pressure, it's not a pressure, but this kind of habit, I would call it a habit, that we all have now is we must show what we're doing. It must be seen, it must be seen, it must be seen. It's great, I love it, we all do it, but the flip side to that is there's a lot of us not truly being in that moment.
Perfect. Where your hair is perfect, your makeup is perfect.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. And I do not compare yourself to anyone's life that you see on social media, because you're seeing the showreel of highlights. You're not seeing the behind the scenes. You're not seeing the other moments. Am I also guilty of that in a sense? Yes. I'm going to try and put the best picture out there on my Instagram because it's a visual medium and that's what we're creating. Is that a catch-22 kind of position to be in? Kind of. I don't know what the solution to that is, because that is what we're doing. You're seeing, if you want to scroll on my Insta page, you're going to see the highlights of my life. You're not seeing the moments of doubt. You're not seeing the moments of insecurity. You're not seeing the moments of unhappiness. You're not seeing the moments of having a very bad day, not feeling confident about the way you look. Of course.
People who look at Katrina Kaif's account,
built up by many things you've done and many images and many visuals and many songs. It's tough, yeah. I do really try and give candid content, but not enough as I would. you have great light, you know your light. Now, it doesn't mean that I need a light or a light setup. I can do the picture outdoor. In fact, I'm quite good with taking pictures outdoor. Look at the visual medium, creating beauty and creating aesthetic things that I find beautiful. It could be a cup, it could be a leaf, it could be anything. It could be my friend sends me something they want me to post about a product of theirs on Instagram. I'll still try and make that picture look something pleasing to me. A certain visual that some people feel that they need to compare themselves to, which we shouldn't. And that goes for me as well. I look at other people's pictures and say, oh wow, how are they looking like that, or how are they doing that? But and not get too influenced or too bothered about what everyone else is doing. I think that's the way I would put it. Do what you want to do on your social media. I'm nobody to tell you what I think we should or shouldn't do. Operate and run and put whatever images you feel happy about, that you like putting up on your account, and don't get too bothered about what's going on in other people's accounts.
For an event or for an interview,
So I have a hair and makeup team which I like to work with a lot, but sometimes they're not available, so you have options. But I have a great person who I've worked with for a long time now, makeup artist Daniel Bauer, and he's a fantastic support to me, and he's a fantastic person to have around. It's the people you have around are very important. It's not just about, there are moments where, listen, if I put a mirror in front of you for 2 hours, you're going to continuously find these things that are wrong with yourself, and that can be a very it cannot be the best process. So what's very important is for that process to be positive. If I angle my chair away from the mirror, so I face you more rather than bang on in front of the mirror, which is traditionally how we sit, I don't see myself in the mirror. I don't need to see myself. He needs to see. It's less it's less in your face, which is good, because we don't need to stare at ourselves consistently for hours. We have the perfect balance where they respect the fact that they need to do their job and do it well. They don't take it for granted, like, oh, let's faff today. The only thing is that because they're so good, of course, lots of other people want them, so you have to sometimes fight for dates. But I love the energy of my team. It's very important that they have a light energy, they have a happy energy, and we understand also that let's not get caught up. It's just makeup. We're not sending people to the moon to rescue kittens. Let's not get caught up in ego, that's important to me. Let's not be like, this is my makeup and I have to do it my way.
Hair and makeup, what are the kind of standard, okay.
It's I think genuinely, if you have to give a ratio, it's much more about a nude look and a nude lip, just kind of, contour, blush, how we all put a little bit of kind of highlighting the structure of your face, bringing out your features, and kind of just opening up your eyes. I think that's the easiest way to put it. So every day when I sit down, and if we have to ask, Danny asks me what's the look for today, I'm like, just easy makeup and big eyes. Well, I don't think everybody should want to look like. I know that's not the case. I think that, as I said, people are really now much more about looking the best version of themselves. I don't think people are looking at me saying I want to look like her or like Deepika or Anushka. I think people are saying, oh, that's nice. I like their hairstyle. I like their style. They might get style tips because we work with the best makeup artists in the industry. We work with the best fashion stylists in the industry. So it's a good place to pick up tips, even for me, for anyone. Our Insta pages are great pages for you to pick up kind of what's going on in fashion, hair and makeup in the Hindi film industry.
Brand, this is something you launched just a little while ago.
Yeah. So my manager Vivek came and sat with me, and he's like, what do we want to do right now? These are our options. These are the brands which have approached us, and what do we want to do? And I just want to, so I was listening to him, and I was like, I also just want to have a conversation with you about, what do we feel about using your knowledge and what it is that you feel and what it is that you feel about beauty and makeup, and not putting that in a brand. Like Daniel's a newer entrant into my life. Before that, I did most of my let me say songs because they're more familiar. So Sheila Ki Jawani, Chikni Chameli, even Jab Tak Hai Jaan, it's all my own makeup. Ek Tha Tiger, it's all my own makeup. All these films, I've done my own makeup. His name was Subhash Dada, and he kind of started the first kind. And what happened is, it started out with saying that, okay, let me do that. Let me do the liner. Then I started out with, okay, let me do the blush. Let me do the base. Let me do the lips. And before I did everything. I would observe different makeup artists, and I'd say, okay, I like the way they do that. I like the way they do that. And then I would just be like, I'm done. Make this. Okay, I want to look there. So it's I know it's a slightly unusual thing, but it's just been the way it is. So I think that is why when people say that, oh, you're very passionate about K-beauty and you seem to have a certain knowledge and involvement when you talk about it, it's because I know makeup. And it's because it's been now, 15 years that I've been doing my own makeup. I know makeup.
Making people...
I think the world has changed when it comes to that. I think the world has changed when it comes to that. And it's no longer about an ideal of beauty. It's about being an ideal of yourself. It's about being the best that you can be. And I think I realized that, or I got a taste of that when I experienced that firsthand. And when people start expecting certain things of you and a certain look from you all the time, and then you realize that, you know what, we are who we are, and we need to celebrate our good days and our bad days and our in-between days, and we need to be comfortable with who we are and how we look. And I really wanted women and girls in my film, when we did the film for K-beauty, who to me, when I look at them, seemed really comfortable in their own skin.
In the earlier part of your career, you see a real broken Katrina on screen.
I don't dissect it like that. I don't go into that detail because there's no end to going into dissection of why you looked this way in a film and why you projected this way in a film. I just try. I don't believe that I believe the past teaches us things, yes, but beyond that, I also feel that the past is the past. And whether it's to pat myself on the back, whether it's to gloat at what I've done, or whether it's to try and... I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago. Experiences make us different. We change, we evolve in life, and we get to know ourselves more, and we get to understand ourselves more, and we get to better ourselves more, hopefully, in some situations. Whether it's your reactions to situations, whether it's your reactions to life, whether it's the way you live life. So for me, it's about trying to grow and evolve, and that's really what the last 3 years to me have been about, where we may, better ourselves with our diet. We also have to work on our mind and ourselves in the same way.
Cons of looking that certain way.
So there is more importance in this concept of stylists to dress you for events when you go out is something which happened in the last, I'd say, 5 years. Before that wasn't there. We just used to pick up something and kind of wear it, or call from a designer and say, can you just send me something, and just pick it up and go out. The importance of that was a lot less. Like now, everyone has a stylist. They dress up before an event. There's a picture taken, and it's okay. There are some things that I just accept as part of the way that things are moving in the industry.
I remember.
No, very much still is.
Right.
Like the minute I'm done with whatever I'm doing in the day, I most likely go home and put on denim shorts and an oversized tee. On my off time, I think I'm a mix between a very easy feminine, like I wear a lot of easy cotton Reformation dresses, which are just like the sustainable staple wardrobe, and then your denim shorts and your t-shirts. Like, it's easy. There's nothing I would tell myself, because everything I went through and everything that happened, however good, however wonderful, however bad, however traumatic or dramatic it was at the time, it's all added something to me. At that point, it may be a rough transition, or you may go through periods of rough transition, but normally what you take out of that, if you're looking for the positivity out of it, will be something which will help you live a happier life in the long run. Thank you. Lovely chatting.
Thank you.